Hi.
Hi.
I'm Han. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Han. Nice to meet you. I'm Rachel Brown.
Okay. Shall we take a walk to the Career Center?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, can you tell me a little bit about your role at the Career Center?
Absolutely. So I'm the director of the Career Center, and the Career Center serves all students at Temple and all Temple alumni. And we have a staff of 11, and there are 5 career coaches that work individually with students to help them with any questions that they might have about their career development. We also have a team that works with employers that comes on campus to recruit and interview students. And I'm the director, so I sort of oversee all of that. That's right. For better or for worse.
Right. So is this the mock interview area?
This is the interviewing suite, and we do interviews with employers that are actually interviewing for internships and full-time jobs, and we do mock interviews as well for students who are freshmen, sophomore, juniors, or seniors, if they just want to practice with an employer and get immediate feedback. The mock interviews are scheduled for an hour. The actual interview itself is 30 minutes, but then we have time that then the interviewer can give the feedback instantaneously to the student.
And what do you do for students like starting their freshman year?
I want to say maybe 60% of Temple students change their majors at least once, if not twice.
I've changed mine 3 times.
There you go. There you go. And so we encourage that. And so we really want to help freshmen to explore what can you do with different majors, what are your interests, what might you want to do when you graduate. My personal belief is not that there's one career path or there's one major, but really trying to encourage students to think broadly. And so from freshman year, trying to get them to think about what might I want to do, what part-time job might I want to get. And the sooner that students come to the Career Center, the easier it is for them, because they hopefully will see that we're friendly and that, that we want to help, and then it's not so intimidating. I think if I was one of those students that waited till my senior year, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I was all scared about going to the Career Center, and it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to have it all figured out, just come and talk to us. So the Career Center's for all students and alumni, and we provide university-wide services. And some of the schools and colleges have their own career centers. And this is a career fair that is being sponsored by the Fox School of Business, the Center for Student Professional Development. They'll have tables, the high-top tables like that, because it is conducive to mingling. And if you have sit-down tables, you sort of sit and then you stay there and you don't get the opportunity to move around and talk to as many people.
So a lot of students are spending a lot of time after post-graduation looking for jobs now. Have you seen recent trends like this?
Yes, so there's a couple of things that we've seen students do. Some that just said, I'm going to wait until I graduate. 70-some% of Temple students are working part-time while they're in school. And so I think some of them think, I'll continue my part-time job and then I'll look for a full-time job. Let me just graduate first. And we surveyed the class of 2009 at right before graduation as what are you doing, when you graduate. And Temple grads, bachelor degree graduates, were actually above the national average of the percentage of students who had employment. And the national average is 20% of college seniors nationally have jobs at the time of graduation, and Temple was 26%. So we were significantly above the national average.
Well, let's take a walk.
Okay, sounds good.
So just a little bit ago we were talking about networking, and I was wondering if you had any more advice to give on networking.
It just dawned on me that we're doing what we actually advise students to do with just reach out to specifically alums that you can go on to myalspace.com, and those are Temple alums. You could search psychology majors. You want to maybe go to California. You can find California, people who are living or working in California, contact them And when you're planning your next trip to California, meet them for a cup of coffee and just say, tell me about yourself. How did you get to be a couples therapist, or one of the areas that you're interested in? What advice do you have for me? And you'd be surprised how willing alumni are to help a student, and also people love to talk about themselves. Tell me about your career path and what advice you might have for me. So that would be, just since we're sitting here, it seemed like a natural thing to say.
Earlier, we were talking about other schools around Temple, and there are schools, for example, like the Fox School of Business and the School of Tourism and Hospitality Management. They just seem to be able to do a better job of helping students network and trying to find opportunities. So can you explain this discrepancy?
Big businesses, accounting firms, investment banks, large manufacturing companies that recruit students for those types of positions have a very long-standing, financially supported recruiting program to recruit lots of college students. So I would encourage students that are in other schools and in other majors to really seek out, we have liaisons in the Career Center for each of the major schools. Seek out the liaison for your school in the Career Center, and we can really help you to navigate and identify the resources that are available to you.
So you've obviously worked with a lot of employers since you work at the Career Center. Can you tell me what their general impression of Temple students?
Well, there's lots of things, but the final thing that I'll mention is the lack of entitlement, if you will. I've worked at a lot of schools where students sort of feel like, well, of course an employer wants to hire me. I graduated from blah, blah. And Temple students don't have that. And and they could, they absolutely could. You could have that attitude, but it's more, I want to do a good job. I want to be a better, make the world a better place, fill in the blank. And let me help you do that. And so it's been really cool for me to see the genuine interest of employers and Temple students, and it's been really fun making those connections.
Because we're the best kind of students.
You are the best. You are the best.
Okay. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.